Please be seated. Please be seated. So now, once again, let us recollect our mind, come down, and put our hands together to request Geshe to give teaching according to the wishes and capacities of the students. Geshe, please kindly give us teaching. Good morning to all. On behalf of Deer Park, let me welcome Geshe and all the participants here. Well, I think I don't remember now how many years Geshe has been coming. I think definitely more than a decade. And earlier, Geshe used to come twice a year, but his spread of the message of Dhamma has become so wide that we are fortunate that we are in a position to get at least once in a year, which also comes down from 10 days to 8 days. Hopefully, I think from next time onwards, it may become 10 days, because that is what I was told by Tibet House, that is going to be the standard. Yeah. Well, I think we all know Geshe. Anyone who is totally new to Geshe? Wonderful. So I'm not going to read any biodata, nor do I have, because I'm certainly told that kindly welcome Geshe. So I take this opportunity to welcome Geshe. I would only say that when you listen to him, you would know who is Geshe. Because even if I describe 1,000 pages, that description would not be Geshe. Okay, so the description is not really the describe. I would say that about a month back, we had one monk from Czechoslovakia. He knows 11 languages, not just speaking, writing, translating. In the evening when I met him, he was studying Spanish. That is his 12th language. Such a great thirst for the knowledge. And I was reminded that Socrates was at the age of 81. He was in the deathbed. He was learning totally new language. His friend came, "You're going to die and you are learning totally new language." He said that, "Yes, I leave this world by knowing one more language." So there's a kind of the urge. So I find the same zeal, enthusiasm of knowing more and more and more of Dhamma, and more zeal to spread it across all over the world. I think that's really wonderful. I think he is almost like, I should say, a kind of spiritual ambassador or Dhamma ambassador. Yeah, I think one of the great quality which I really observe in Geshe is that he wants to see his Dhamma students more than what he really knows, which I think is very, very challenging in any of the Dhamma or the academic environment. So, Geshe, I think thank you very much for your valuable time. I know that now you have become a person, what the English call man on the wheel, but fortunately your wheel would be here for 7 days, so we are very grateful for that. Yeah, may I request Divanji that on behalf of Deer Park and all of us to offer this kata to the Geshe. Yeah, thank you, Divanji, who is the director here. And we would be Deer Park is really thankful to all the participants who have really come. And I was telling this morning to our colleague Prashant and Diwan and Praveen, this time I'm so happy that at least 90% of the people who have come here are totally new to us. Otherwise, earlier we used to see almost the same people coming. So this shows clearly how the message of Buddha by our venerable teacher is really spreading and making a difference in the life of others. So we would really like to thank you, all the participants who have come here, and our team here who try to take care of all your physical needs, starting from the lodging to the board, as far as possible, to put yourself in a situation of physical comfort. And with that, I think the spiritual or the mental well-being would be definitely care of by Venerable Dorji Damdul, our teacher here. So with that, once again, I would like to thank all of you for coming here and furthering our cause of the Deer Park, which is to really spread the Buddha Dharma as wide as possible. Thank you very much. I request Geshe to thank you, Geshe.
Thank you, Ajirji, for being great inspiration to all of us and all the people who we already met before and who we're meeting and who will meet in future as well. That the love for knowledge, as Ajirji indicated, of the Socrates and is risen the visitor from Czech Republic. This is exactly what Ajirji embodies, and this is a great inspiration for many, 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 particularly the young ones. The elders, like my age, or maybe a little younger than me, or older than me, we already know what real life is. So therefore, there's nothing more meaningful. Of course, we need to take care of our day-to-day life. Meanwhile, so take care of our mind growth of one's mind. And whereas the younger ones, like in 20s, and for example, here we have the youngest one, Manvik. Manvik, who's the youngest one here, raise hand, get up, stand up, would man standing up. Okay, so Manvik, who's just 8 years old, 8 years old, and he's the youngest member here, but unfortunately, he has to join the school tomorrow. So he will leave us tomorrow. Okay, today he'll be with us whole day to observe how the elders are doing. Thank you, Mandik. Thank you. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the younger ones in the teenagers or in your 20s, we see that Ajirji is really a great inspiration for all of us because that we see here somebody in his career as the government service of the highest level, IAS officer, and voluntarily took an early retirement and then being of service to the Dharma and himself into the study, meditation, and service, not only study meditation, but also service for all these many years. So it's a great inspiration for all of us. And urge you, please continue to inspire as many as the possible, the way you have been doing all these many years. This one thing. And then another person that I'd like to also let you bring it to your notice is Prashantji. Prashantji, who actually was the founding director of center here. I think about like how many years? 20, almost 20 years. 20 years. So the first day of the inception of this as a center, Prashantji was the founding director, and he's just amazing, amazing. And the one who was here with the suit, so he is the one who has such a big heart to really make things happen for the Dharma, for the people, for the community. Extremely open-minded, a great inspiration. And then we have our director, Singh the who Ajirji introduced. So Mr. Singh Tundup, and people call him Pavanji, Divanji, and the Tibetan name is Singh Tundup. So I'm always confused between Pavanji and Divanji. So I call him Singh Tundup. So he's the director, has been these several years that he's been director here. And then the one person that you have to know is you already know Pravinji. The ones you come under his radar, no escape, because he knows exactly your surname, your name, first name, and your surname. So if I say, if I let's say that Carl, right? He will say, which Carl? Carl with this surname, that surname. So we are in the hands of a very loving person, amazingly loving. So this is, yes, you, in fact, more than how they share with you, you will actually feel the love, affection, and his demeanor. That's amazing. And another interesting person that we have to know is Rajinder. Rajinder, amazing. He just, you want anything, he'll be there. He can do everything from A to Z. In the office, hear sound, and then with anything, you just ask him, he'll do it. So a great asset for Deer Park and for all of us. So and then there are many other staff around in the kitchen and the what all housekeeping, the gardeners, and in the office as well. So this is an incredibly beautiful space. And of course, we have to keep in mind that this is all happening because of the Khenzi Rinpoche, who is the brain behind all these things. This amazing, great visionary, and amazingly the personality for the Dhamma. This amazing with his particularly one project which is so important is known as the 84,000 translation project, which is so beneficial for so many people, where you have a small translation and then there's a copyright issues. With the 84,000, there's no copyright issues. Anybody can easily get access to these translations, very precious translations of the holy books, holy the compositions, teachings of the Buddha. So that way we see that this is the center started by Rinpoche, and then all the blessings finally come from His Holiness the Dalai Lama. For all of us, for example, say myself, as as a young boy, age I think about like 14, 15, 16, wanting to become a physicist. So many of you already know my story that I was so keen to become a physicist in school. And then my teacher, very fortunate to have met with my teacher, Venerable Geshe Dorji as the school teacher there, and always seeking inspirations, blessings, advice from him. And then once he mentioned about His Holiness. His Holiness has a great vision of modern science and the Buddhist philosophy. And if you could do something of this kind, then there will be great service to His Holiness and to the world. This is what my teacher said. And then again, it's all because of the blessings of His Holiness, the inspiration from His Holiness. And then later, many of you are from Russia. So it's all because of Anatenzi Dhamma, who I first met her when she was just 19 years old as a tourist girl, not knowing anything. And then you have to know the story. So I was staying just below the main temple in the Dharamsala. Then Anastasia and her friend, two of them, and the girl, two of them came as a tourist girl, as a tourist. And then they happened to bump into one small cafeteria next to my place and asked them, what is special about Dharamsala? So then the cafeteria people said that Dharamsala, His Holiness is there, and Buddhism is there. Okay, His Holiness is very big; we cannot get access. But Buddhism, where to go to the Buddhism? I said next to this here. There's one road there. There's one the monk there. You can go there. Then they start to go left right. And the monks, and that person said, no, no, don't go left and right. Go with the scarf. Go with, no, not left, right. Not marching left and right, but so he gave a scarf to two of them. And then so this is how everything started. This is amazing. This is not just an accidental meeting. This is a very strongly karmic connection. So from this, now the last like 20 years evolved, and then now she has brought such a magic. Now, before the Tibet House Nalanda studies, say since 2016, I think the first one where the Russians were more involved was 2018, or I think 18, 19. So since then till now, Russian participants of the Nalanda Studies Tibet House is, I think, about like more than 3,000 students, purely from Russia. And Russia on one side, and the participants of Russia on one side, and the rest of the world. Indians, Tibetans, and then the Americans, Australians, Singapore all put together, and Russian is bigger in size. So this is all because of this, the Anadizidamala. So this is amazing. So we all should be feeling so grateful, particularly the Russians should be feeling grateful to Anadizidamala. And this is amazing. And how how all these unfolded. This involves many things, like herself having deep interest in dharma, having deep connection to Buddha dharma since many lifetimes. So with this, now all things are unfolding one of the other in a very positive way, and now benefit so many people. How much effort that she's putting, that she was doing her own master's course from the RYI, then at the same time taking care of little child, taking care of the whole family, taking care of her family business, and then doing Narendra studies. Just one person doing all these things and put a lot of effort to make sure that the Narendra studies for the Russian group is happening. This is where this is amazing. And then alongside we should be grateful to say Rinpoche, the Telo Rinpoche, and so we have this program, the Nalanda studies for the Russians happening because of today the Nalanda Institute. I think Nalanda Institute, Nalanda as an institute in Russia, so headed by Julia and the amazing, incredibly Julia. Also, I know her way the many years ago, and so I would say that all the Russians who now you enjoy this studies, we should be feeling grateful to all these people who played a very important role. And then we also have Tanya, and then the Alexis who now is taking charge, taking the responsibility as a translator also. So, and then the Tatiana, and then later joined by Yulia here. Yulia Resand, yes, Yulia, and there are many involved there. Many. So look, this is I would say that is a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey together. Beautiful journey. So, having said this, as Ajit explained, we're all together here, not because of accidental meeting, but it's because of the say connection with His Holiness the Dalai Lama from many lifetimes ago. And today we also know that you must also know that we have many young Ladakhi boys and girls from Florin Dharma recent. Florian Dharma. Okay. So we have Gisela here, Geshe Samdula, who we are from the same Institute of Buddhist Dialectics, Singitasa, but he was junior. I'm older generation, old school, and the young one. So very young, dynamic, and amazing. So now he's the director of Florian Dharma Group, which was the founding director. The founder was Mr. Tashi, and now Mr. Tashi so wisely identified Geshe Samdula as the director of Florian Dharma, and Tashila and Geshe supported by Mrs. Losangmala. So we have a number of the people who are involved in Florian Dharma. So this is, these two form the major group, and there are other, as Ajirji said, and they I see the faces from the long time ago, my friends, like Atin Shanchula there, Atin Shanchula, raise your hand, and if you come to know him, you will love him. Tin Shanchula is just a great inspiration. And we also have the Tin Seduna there, Tin Seduna raise hand, very dynamic. Yes, you will see her dynamism in the next 7 days. Okay, so we see that there are many of us, and we have the Venerable Professor Kaveri here. Yes, a professor from Cambridge University. And okay, so her biography is big. Okay, so let's make it short. So having said this, I'm going to quickly give you some idea of what we're going to do from this afternoon, and in the morning session and afternoon session, there are 2 sessions. And then from tomorrow morning, what are you going to do? I'm going to quickly explain this here. And now that the SIGG said, many years of our conducting these programs, the Bodhicitta program and otherwise the other on other texts as well in different places, Deer Park, and earlier was, as Ajirji said, every time I come here I have to get this gold from Ajirji. Every time I'm come to Deer Park, I have to hear this, listen to this gold from Ajirji. Twice a year, cut down to 1 year. From 10 days, cut down to 7 days. Right? Okay. It's always have to listen to this all the time. Okay. Okay. So, Deer Park and in the many other places also, we do the same program. And one thing, the unique thing about the Deer Park is that I'm the associate with Deer Park since the first time of my exposure to the outside world, of going to teach. That was the major center, most important center with which I'm associated, and with all of them very closely connected since those many years ago. So this is some so unique. And then the Venerable Professor Kaveriji's father, who passed away, and who was the Union Minister of India, and who was also the Chief Election Commissioner of India for 2 terms. And once when he came here with all the family members, he said, Gishela, suddenly he stopped me during the break time, and he said, Gishela, we are breathing oxygen. You're getting it? This is the beauty of Deer Park. Fresh air, and look at the sky, so blue, so nice, and look at the leaves of the vegetation, they're all glittering, and this beautiful sunlight, and the flexibility of how the Deer Park is designed, meaning space is there, plus the people who are working here. How Khenzi Rinpoche, he blessed the staff here, the people here like Ajirji, Prashantji, and the Divanji, Praveen, Rajinder, all of them, they influence them to be very flexible so that people can feel the ease. People can feel the ease, not like so rigid. Oh, I mean, we're in a center, silence, everybody staring at each other, no smile. It's very different here. There's a smile there. You could feel the heart here. This is the beauty of Japa Institute. Okay, so having said this, what are we going to do from tomorrow? So, of course, we have two classes this evening, and also not only two classes, we also have group discussions. But from tomorrow, the morning session is something which is not necessary, but we are doing this. We are doing this for the reason that oftentimes, after completing the course, towards the end of the course, people will come to ask me the question, okay, we studied all these things the last 10 days or 7 days or 8 days. And now, how can we take this forward? How can we take this forward in the coming years? So, because the moment I leave this place, the environment is not there. So, how can we continue with this practice? So, again, I have to explain everything. So, instead of that, we conduct the morning practice. So, the morning practice is not just a ritual part of this retreat, it is for us to learn how, when you feel the benefit of these teachings taught by the Buddha Shakyamuni, teachings they explained and taught by the great Nalanda masters like Adi Nagarjuna and so forth. And we are particularly, we're going to focus on the Bodhisattva Shantideva's text and Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life with respect to the cultivating the universal compassion of the Bodhicitta. So, the how to practice this. So, this we will learn in the morning sessions. Morning sessions, what are we doing? They collectively, it may in group, it'll take about like 1.5 hours to 2 hours. So now I don't know why things are changing. Nowadays, it takes like 1.5 hours. Maybe the first 2 days it may be like 2 hours, and because it involves lots of explanation. Then after that, no explanation, we directly jump into the practice. So it takes only about like 1.5 hours. And then when you do, if you are do that on your own, not in group, then it may take like 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's it. Okay, so this says what form. So on this book, how many got this book? Russians, English, recents, just show that to me. Okay, make sure that you get this book. If you do not get this book, make sure that you get this book. Some of you have it on software. Oh, sorry, soft copy. You have the soft copy. That's also fine. But those who don't have the soft copy, you must have to have the hard copy. And this hard copy that you have, and this is your copy. This is your copy. Once the retreat is done, take it with you, and this is your copy. So how this book is not that is a part of the retreat and you get a package. No. So this is not a package with the retreat. This is something earlier. Tibet House, we used to send them to Deer Park and to other places where the participants they have to pay the cost price, which means a printing price. Printing price, which is about like 300 rupees. Usually this book will cost you minimum 1,000, 2,000 rupees minimum. Efforts involved and so forth, but Tibet charge only the printing price. Whatever from the printing press, it comes to Tibet House, and it says this book is 300. That's it, just for this service. Then later, we have from Singapore. There's a couple, Mr. Alvin, Brother Alvin, and Sister Christy. Two of them told us Tibet House that please print more of these books, and particularly for the retreatants, those who attend the retreats, offer this for free from their side. So therefore, this book is free for each one of you. This for free from two of them. Please keep them in your mind, Brother Alvin and Sister Christy. Then, after I think like 2 years of continuous offering of this book to the participants, our Sonamla and the family came into the picture and said that is a possibility for us as well to offer these books to the retreatants. Yes, of course. And then Sonamla and the family so kindly again supported the printing of these books and then distributed for free. So Sonamla is here, and Sonamla from Singapore. Sonamla's two parents and Sonamla's the sisters are there. And yes, the two parents have gone through the ill health, and sisters also going through ill health. Let us all pray for the recovery, and for a good health of Sonam's all different members of Sonam. So this is one thing that I like to bring to your notice. And this book is, don't think that this book is something which is available anywhere. It's not available anywhere, not even on Amazon. You will not get this book. This book is only what you find in Tibet House. And okay, so on this book is your copy. And this is what we require in all the sessions that we do here, and the morning sessions, then the three classes, and then the food offering and so forth. So the Sonamla, because that he has been coming to Deer Park for about like how many 14, 15 years. 14, 15 years. He knows all the procedure, how these retreats conducted. So on the food offering and so forth, we will use this book. It is for us to learn. And meanwhile, we also want to read like 20 verses, continue to read 20 verses from this book to make sure that we reap two benefits. One, the class, and then alongside with the class, you will learn the technicalities, technical philosophical concepts, and then reading a book, the 20 verses, we see that it's so like you feel as so like you have a separate class, because whatever we learn in the class, you will see in some different forms are taught in these verses. So it's not like you are getting through two classes simultaneously. That's a great plus point for us, benefit for us. So this is where this book should always be with us. And this one thing. Then in the morning session, what we do is that we have the first we come at 5:45. 5:45, which is quarter to 6. We should be here. And then for 5 minutes, we make the prostrations with the chanting. And I'm going to quickly explain the prostration, what is prostration, how to do the prostration, these things, particularly those of you who already know this, well and good. Those of you who don't know this, they'll be very beneficial. Even for those who have been doing these things for the last many years, still just see if if there's any additional information that you're learning. So prostration, and then after prostration, then we offer the lights too, and then we sit down to the practice. So first, let me quickly, before I go into details, let me quickly talk about, next is the very important point is the group discussions. So for the Russian group, I will leave it on Anit's Jumla, Yulia. So Yulia will be there to take care of the Russian group, how to split them into groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, whatever. And that Yulia will do that. And then this is one part. And for others, I'll request the Sonamla and the Tins Chanjubla, 2 of you. Otherwise, I would have requested the Venerable Professor Tins Vasela, but she has the leg problem, the foot problem. So therefore, I don't want to burden her with too much work. So I would say, Sonamla and Tins Chanjubla, if you can take charge to identify how many people are from the non-Russians, and then maybe one group can have like maximum 10 person, and if possible, all the groups, somebody who's leading the group should be somebody who's familiar with the retreats. Like Sonam himself, and then of course Geshe, we have to take the maximum advantage of Geshe there, or otherwise Geshe can go around to help anybody where there is some requirement, because Geshe knows the technicalities. So Geshe will be a great asset for us. And then we have this Chanchubla. So that, and then Joshua here, and who else who have been into these retreats more? Carl, yes, Carl and Andrew. There, 1, 2, and then with Joshua 3, and huh? Bumagaji, hey, Bumaji, you're hiding, and Kate is there, and Omarla is there, and Tin Chanju was there, and hey, somehow hiding. Okay. I hope that there is no one who is hiding, who are already familiar with this. So the idea is that the ones who know the retreat so well, you should take the lead. You should take the lead, and we call them the moderators. The moderators, your job is to give the maximum opportunity for the people to speak, to allow as the many to speak, not just one person dominating, one person speaking for like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It's just waste of the time of everybody. Just moderators should be the more strict in ways that should give chance to others to speak. Okay. And then those who are already into Dharma for so long, I would request you not to throw your very complicated questions in the group discussion, because the newcomers, they will feel demoralized. They'll feel discouraged. So we are, instead of helping, we are harming them. So make sure that those who are into Dharma for more years, like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, please hold your questions, don't ask your questions, and let the others speak, let others bring the question, particularly newcomers, let them bring the questions, and then the ones who are into them for longer duration of number of years, you give the answers, but don't lecture. Give the answers very succinctly, like 1 minute, 2 minutes. And then let others also answer. And the other answer may be correct, not correct, doesn't matter. The thing is that we have to think of two things. From this retreat, we need two things to focus on. One thing is, as always, wherever we go, to gather information, to learn something new, gather information is one. Number two is not only gathering information. Okay, how many of you know that? How many of you from computer science background, raise your hands? How many are from computer science background? Sergey, gentleman here. Your name? Jigme. Jigme, Sergey, raise hands. More. Here, your name? Gopal. Here. Chetan. So many from IT. Okay. So let's say that if I ask this question to them, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Otherwise, if I say, you may say what he's saying. So because they are from the IT computer section, they know. So okay. So with in the computer, there are two things: hardware and software. You agree? Or the the computer science people, residents, if you agree, hardware and software. And those who have not from the computer background, listen what I'm saying. You're getting it? Hardware and software. So the metaphor that I'm giving is, hardware is your thinking, your intelligence. Software is what you're learning new. What are you learning new? You're getting it? Your thinking is good. Your thinking is very sharp. The new things that you're learning, you will learn so fast. And the software will operate so well. Whereas the hardware is so outdated. Even sophisticated software of R. Nagarjuna comes. It doesn't work. Hardware doesn't work. You agree? IT staff, not staff. IT people, you agree? Yes. So if the software is sophisticated, the Bodhisattva Shantideva's software comes, hardware must be upgraded, right? Okay, so the hardware is your thinking. Your thinking must be upgraded. You go, oh no, it doesn't make any sense. No, your hardware may be very low quality, outdated. It must be upgraded. How? Sharpen your intelligence. So these 7 days will be used to, one, to gather information, and number two, to sharpen your intelligence. Don't think that, I thought that is going to be retreat, meditation, quiet, peaceful. No, he's talking about intelligence, right? So I'm in school. I'm not really good in academics. I'm not intelligent. Now, no hope here, right? You are underestimating yourself. You are underestimating yourself. You have an incredible potential inside. Believe it or not, each one of you, including me, you, me, each one of us, we have incredible potential. If you know how to nurture this, you will see incredible, brilliant glow of the gold of intelligence. Gold of the intelligence will shine. Each one of us, don't underestimate your potential. From this, let us take this as experiment. 7 day as experiment for you to see that I too have intelligence. Great intelligence. Even my hardware can be upgraded. And the 7 days, I'm able to upgrade my hardware to some extent that I'm able to use this software of Bodhisattva Shantideva so effectively in my hardware of my thinking. So this is what is required. However sophisticated the software is, if the hardware is very outdated, software doesn't operate. Yes, Chetan, Mr. Chetan. Yes, Gopal. Yes, you agree. Ah, Sergey, you agree. Jimala, you agree. So how? Like, don't forget it. However sophisticated the software is, if the hardware is outdated, software will not work. However sophisticated the hardware is, if the software is outdated, again will not work. You're getting it? Again will not work. So software is so sophisticated. Are Nagarjuna software, Bodhisattva Shantideva software, but hardware is our hardware, our thinking, our intelligence. So that must be upgraded. Don't dump it. Nowadays, Apple companies, they create the computers in such a way that after a certain year, you have to dump it. You cannot upgrade it. But your hardware is very different. It's not the Apple hardware. It can be upgraded infinitely. You know that? Apple, they made that. After a certain year, you have to discard. You cannot upgrade any further. But your hardware is very different. Apple, they cannot control it. You can upgrade it as much as you can. So our job is to upgrade your hardware of your intelligence by sharpening your intelligence, number one, and also to gather it from two things to be done in these 7 days. So, okay, this is one thing. And group discussion is so important. Please make sure that you take the maximum advantage of this. And the young ones from Flowering Dharma, we have Gisela here. And Gisela, make sure that the young ones, you take the maximum advantage of this just 7 days, and you will learn a lot. And there's so many other people here. You must make sure that you learn from these. For example, the people who identified, like Ajiji is here for all these years, has been studying, and Professor is here. And from the Russians, of course, the Russians, you know them better. And then we have Sonamla here, and then we have Tenzi Changjubla, Joshua, and then the Kate there, Omarla there, and the Bhumikaji here, and who else? And Carla, the Andrew. Okay, so what I'm saying is that take the maximum advantage of their presence. And the Russians, you have your own group. There's Drumla. I don't know whether she can take part in the group discussions, because she's busy. She'll be busy translating. She requires rest. Okay, so group discussions, and some of the Ladakh young boys and girls from there, I can see that some of the faces which are quite familiar to me. So those of you who, like, I think down there, Dorji, yes, your face is very familiar to me. So make sure that with the Gishela's help, make sure that the young ones, you take the maximum advantage of your being here. Okay, this is one thing. Okay, so what I have to share, I'm done with this. Now let me quickly explain the prostration. Prostration, number one is why. What is prostration, number one? Number two is, why do we do that? Okay, let me put it like this. Say you have to do prostration. If you have no idea what is prostration, what do you ask me? You have to do prostration. What do you say? What is prostration? First question. Then I explain what is prostration is. Then you will say, what? Why should I do it? Number two. So once I explain why should you do, then you'll ask, Sirinla, how to do it? Yes. You're getting it? Okay. So these are the questions. We also so when I say sharpening your intelligence means learning how to articulate your thoughts, learning how to articulate your thoughts, to make your thoughts very succinct, very precise, with the economy of words, the message conveyed very clearly. So that is known as articulation. So first is what is frustration? Then why should I do it? Then how to do it? Okay. First, what is frustration? Frustration has the connotation of expressing respect. Expressing respect. Okay, some people said, okay, he's a very learned person, but I don't respect him. But that person, I truly respect him. You're getting it? Respect. So they say frustration is nothing but the expression of respect. Expression of respect. And then the next question is, why do we, okay, if it is, why respect? Why respect? Why? Why respect? Okay, I don't want to they make it too the obvious. Once it was there was what is known as a gala party on a very high level. I don't want to mention the details. It's a gala party on the national level, and the king and the queen were there, and the queen came little late. And the moment the queen came, not the British queen, I'm not going to tell which queen. Then all the people they start to stand up. All the people who attended the gala party is a very official party, official meal, official meal, and everybody stood up. And there was one who was sitting next to me, a Nobel laureate in chemistry. I'm not going to tell. Nobel laureate in chemistry. He had the confidence that we are all same, right? If you were to check the intelligence, I'm more intelligent than this queen. I'm more intelligent. Why should I respect her? He told me directly. He said that why people are standing to show respect to this lady. Why? But he didn't say that I'm more intelligent. He didn't say that. He kept sitting down. He said, why should you stand for this lady? Why should you stand up? Why? Just this, feeling of uneasiness. Because we're same. You're getting it? Why should I respect? Okay. So respect has a connotation. Respect is not just like you have to do this. Of course, in some places you have to do this out of fear. But otherwise, the respect is, for example, like when I was age what, 16, 17, I was so fond of physics. I was so fond of physics in class. So class 9, 10, 11, 12, for 4 years. I was crazy after physics and mathematics. And I was thinking of becoming a physicist. And when I was in class 9, one of my friends in class 10, a senior, 1 year senior to me, he left from America. In those days, Tibetan going abroad is so less in number. He joined his family in America. And then in those days, no emails, nothing. Ajit, you remember in those days, the letters all in that postal letter where, okay, younger ones, including Geshe, have no idea. Young ones, if you have no idea, you're new generation. Those who know that, we're older generation. How many you know that, Vicens? Okay, so let's number. Okay, Omar, Kate, you don't belong to my generation. Okay, they're the younger generation. Chanchubla, you have no idea. You have no idea about this. You are the younger generation. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you send a letter, you have to handwrite it. You handwrite it and send a letter, and for 1 month relax. because it takes like 10 days to reach there, and he'll read it and he'll process it, and then he will see how to reply. And again, he has to get all the papers, stamps, these things. It takes like 5, 6, 7 days. And then letter has to again come. Sometimes lucky if you get it in 10 days. If not, you have to wait for 15 days. So total 1 month relax. You send a letter and 1 month relax. And then he sent me a letter saying, Dorji, what do you want from America? I said, a big poster of Albert Einstein. Because I was crazy after physics. Albert Einstein. I want a big poster of Albert Einstein. And it has already been almost 40 years. It never came. It never came. Still, it did not come. And some people from such retreats, they sympathize with me. Right. Okay, don't worry. They bring smaller ones in the frames. Okay. So why is that it? Because that, why? Because that I have so much of respect for Einstein. Because that I admire his brain. I admire his intelligence. I admire his knowledge of physics. So therefore, I want to always see him. That is the expression of respect. Means I respect his knowledge. I respect his knowledge. So when you respect somebody's knowledge, somebody's qualities, when you respect that, what happens is that you acquire those qualities within you very quickly. You will acquire, because that where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where you have this willpower, I must become more like him. This willpower will take you closer to where he is. So therefore, respect is one. And respect to who? We prostrate to what? To Buddhas Bodhisattvas. Buddhas Bodhisattvas. These are the beings who truly embody what we aspire to attain, like fearlessness. We shed tears of pain. They always stop shedding tears of pain. And we crave for happiness. Even one small piece of cheesecake. Or I wish if I can have the second small piece of cheesecake. Happiness, we want more. So they have already reached a level where the happiness is infinity. Wow, this is my role model. I am looking for where all my tears stop, my pain stop, and my happiness expands to infinity. They already reached that level. I must learn from them. Like this little boy want to learn from Albert Einstein. That we all want to learn from these Buddhas Bodhisattvas. These beings who embody those qualities, they are now today referred to as the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So these are the people who you see as your role models. So who you see as, you have great qualities. I want to learn from you. So this is where these are the objects, these are the beings to whom you're expressing your respect. This is the meaning of the respect. And why do you respect is because you don't want to shed tears, because you want to expand your happiness, you learn from them. You learn from. So therefore, the first passage through entrance through which to learn from them is the entrance of the respect. This respect will build you a sense of affinity, willpower to go in that direction, affinity, sense of affection, affinity, closeness to the enlightened beings. So this is why we have to respect. But why? The next is, what is respect? Done. What is prostration? Done. Why to do the prostration? Done. Next, how to do the prostration? Okay. So there are so many ways. It's not just that what the Tibetans are doing is correct, what the Buddhists are doing is correct. No. Any way, any gesture, any physical, verbal, mental gesture, which has the element, which is driven by the element of respect. But the element of respect, that is known as prostration. For example, like say the Tibetan tradition, we put your hand in different places, then lie down fully. Whereas the Chinese tradition or Burmese, and they just put the hand down, and then they say unfold the hand like this, upside down like this, and the Muslims will do like this as hand gesture, and then they say the classical Indians, they put they put the hands on the feet of the elders and teachers, so forth. These are all the respect, expression of respect, prostrations. So prostration, there are different forms, and it'll be good for us to learn all these different forms, particularly where you find yourself more frequently. If you can learn the different ways of doing that, that'll be very good, so that you can associate yourself with the group very easily. So, with respect to the Tibetan style, what we do in the Tibetan tradition is what we actually inherited from India. In fact, India is incredibly great at learning the source of the knowledge, and Tibetans learn it from Indians. So, what we do is that we fold the two hands together, and they say, usually says that they say, when we fold that two ways, fold it like this or like this, like this or like this. Now, what we do is we don't do like this. What we do is that we make it like a cone shape and put the two thumbs inside, and it has numerous explanations. I want to give the simple explanation. One is that it has a cone shape just like the jewel or gem symbolizing bodhicitta, compassion. Compassion is the best of the gems in the world. Compassion, universal compassion. Where there's compassion, everything happens. Where no compassion, nothing happens. Compassion is a gem. What's a gem? Gem is to benefit somebody. Where compassion is missing, nothing, no benefit happens. Where compassion is there, everything is beautiful. So compassion, best of the gems in this world, is the universal compassion bodhicitta. So this outer surface, it symbolizes the compassionate bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. What is bodhicitta? That we're going to study separately. Then, in other words, it's the aspect of the compassion. Then inside is hollow. Inside is hollow, and this hollow symbolizes the wisdom of emptiness. This emptiness we'll also briefly touch in this 7-day retreat. Wisdom of emptiness. So the birds, okay, this boy will tell us, Manvik will tell us, say, if you're a bird, if there's a bird and the bird is in a problem, say there's a place where it's very complicated, what should the bird do? Fly away. Don't stay in the place, fly away. So we are like the birds. Birds in a very complicated place known as samsara. We are like the birds in a very complicated place known as samsara. Very, very complicated people. And other people think that you're complicated. You think others complicated. Very complicated. Right? Very complicated. And then tears. You have to shed tears. Oh. Very painful tears, acutely painful tears. And Ajit is an amazing example. He would identify people who are going through sadness. He would listen to them. And these people just talking to Ajirji listened to them so compassionately. And these people shed tears. That tears, tear of joy. You're getting it? Tears, there are two kinds. Tears of sadness, tears of pain, and the tears of joy. So when you get such incredible compassion, feel the compassion of somebody like Ajirji, then you start to again shed tears. That is a tear of joy. So the point is that we want to stop all these tears. And we are in this place known as samsara. Samsara, very complicated place, so painful place. If you're a bird, don't stay in samsara, fly. To fly, what do we do? What do we need? Manvik. We need wings. How many wings are required? 2 wings are required. Okay. One is a wing of one is a wing of the wisdom, and the other is a wing of compassion. Yes. Manvik, say it again. The first wing is wing of wisdom, and the other is wing of compassion. Wonderful. So we require the 2 wings. You use the 2 wings and then leave samsara and get to the state where you experience freedom from tears, freedom from pains, and the infinite happiness for yourself and for all the other beings. Not only for yourself, but for all the other beings. Okay. So this is what is then with this, say here, outside, it shows the wing of the compassion. And inside whole is the wing of wisdom. So these two together, these two should not be separate. Should be together, then will fly. Okay, so then you touch the combination is, you should be reminded for us that, okay, in my life, I have to practice compassion, I have to practice wisdom, I have to learn, acquire wisdom, I have to practice compassion. This is what we need to remember. With the mind, we touch this gesture at three spots or four spots. Let me first explain the three spots. Three spots is crown, forehead, throat, and the heart. Let me repeat it. Crown, forehead, throat, and the heart. And what are these three spots? What are these four spots? We need to always look for the reasons. You're getting it? They always try to stay away from following blind faith. Always try to stay away from following blind faith. Always try to, because the Buddha's teaching is about the wisdom, it's about intelligence. The Buddha said that even if you have incredibly bright eyes, let me repeat it, even if you have such a bright eyes, but without the light, you cannot see anything. Likewise, even if you have incredible intelligence, but you don't have the correct knowledge, correct wisdom, correct knowledge, you will not see the reality. If you don't see the reality, you should be in the darkness all the time. In dark, we suffer samsara. Okay, so with this in mind, we touch these four spots: the crown, forehead, throat, and heart. Why crown? Why crown? Crown is a spot. Okay, so some of the points are a little technical, which we have to learn. Eventually, we have to learn this. Crown is a spot from where, when you become a Buddha, you have to benefit all the beings. So crown is this spot which is particularly of great significance to render service and benefit to all the sentient beings. That is a major area from which all these benefits are rendered to the sentient beings. The crown plays a very important role. Then next is the forehead. Forehead, in the case of the Buddha, we see there is some bindu there. There's a dot there. There's bindu. So this bindu is extremely important when you become a Buddha. It's not just Buddha outside. When you become a Buddha, so from this bindu, it is, for example, say that how many you? Okay, we have professor here. So likewise, there must be some PhD the people here. So there are some cases where you already submitted your thesis, interview is already conducted, right? But still you are yet to get the certificate of that you have cleared PhD. You already cleared, but officially you have not not got the certificate, the degree. So now the certificate tells you that, okay, now you are a full-fledged PhD, you did your doctorate. So likewise, the bodhisattvas, for them to become Buddhas, bodhisattvas, highest level, gate, paragate, parasamgate. So these four, the bodhisattvas, and the next bodhiswaha, this Buddha. So bodhisattvas, when they reach the final level to become Buddha, and they should be empowered. They should be empowered. We talk about women's empowerment, right? We have to empower others. So the Bodhisattvas should be empowered to become Buddhas. For example, even if there's somebody who's extremely competent, but that person to become the president or prime minister, people should cast the election. You're getting it? You have to give the vote so that this person actually becomes the president, prime minister, whatever. So likewise, the Bodhisattvas to be empowered for them to become Buddhas. So this spot, the forehead from there, and this is spot from where you empower all the Bodhisattvas, particularly on the last stage Bodhisattvas, to become Buddhas, so that their service, the benefit to sentient beings just multiplies. Then next is a thought. Okay. So finally become Buddha. Do you agree with me that to become Buddha, your job is to benefit the beings? Yes? And to benefit the beings, let me give you one example. Say, there is a poor person, and then you are to benefit the person. So, person, you go to give breakfast every day. You give breakfast every day, and benefit the person. Or you teach that person how to find breakfast, which is better benefit. First one, to give breakfast every day, so the person chills out. Right? Okay, tomorrow breakfast, no worry, he'll come to Ajit, he'll come to give me breakfast. Or you teach how to find the breakfast, which is better. This girl, second, teach. Okay, teaching done from where? Speech. You're getting it? So, best of the benefit that when you become Buddha, the best of the benefit you can offer to the beings is the teaching of the wisdom, teaching of compassion. So that teaching is done through the speech. So that is, you when touch this, imagine that you are activating the potential to teach the dharma, to teach the wisdom and compassion to the beings very effectively. This is one thing. Then finally, heart. Why we should touch this heart? This heart is so important because first to help others, God helps. God helps those who help themselves. You're getting it? First, you have to help yourself. First, you have to become a Buddha. Then you can make others Buddha. If you don't have gold, you cannot expect gold. You agree? Right? Oh, I want to give you gold. I'll give you gold. Where is the gold? I don't have gold. Right? It doesn't make sense. So to give gold, to export gold, you should have gold. To make others Buddha, you should become Buddha first. So Buddhahood is a body or your mind? Your mind should become a Buddha. And the main residence of the mind, your mind, is your heart. That is the main residence. For example, where's my main residence? My main residence is in Delhi. But if you go to Delhi, you'll not find me. But that is my main residence. You're getting it? So, heart is the main residence of the mind. But the mind sometimes can be your eye consciousness, sometimes body, sometimes smell, sometimes thoughts. You're getting it? But the main residence is the heart. So, the main residence where the mind eventually will go back, that mind should become enlightened. That should become the Buddha, that mind. So, when you touch this, you have to visualize that I'm activating this mind to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings, for the benefit of yourself. This is the 4 spots. Or otherwise, you can touch 3 spots. 3 spots, you choose between crown and the forehead. You choose crown, speech, throat, crown, throat, or heart. Or forehead, throat, or heart. So if 3 is the body, speech, and mind. Forehead or the crown is the body, then the speech, and the heart is the mind. So you're activating. When you become Buddha, your body should become Buddha, your heart should become Buddha, your mind should become Buddha, your speech should become the Buddha's speech. You're getting it? So therefore, this is where and then finally, when we put your hands down, we make sure that the 5 spots touch the ground. 5 spots. The 2 palms, your forehead, and your 2 knees, they should touch. And how you touch them, there are 2 versions in the Tibetan tradition, short form and the full length prostration. There are 2 versions. So you can do whichever you like. Okay, so this is about the how to do the prostration. Done. And then when you make, okay, since we are now running out of time, so when you make the prostration, make sure that so you do the proper visualization of, if possible, all the bodhisattvas there in front of you, not just one. Innumerable bodhisattvas. And when you make prostration, also think that not only you, but your 2 parents, all of family members, all sentient beings are with you making prostrations. They both. How will you improve somebody when you love somebody? So with this, what you do is that your compassion is activated. When you are being very inclusive of innumerable sentient beings, all sentient beings with you, your compassion is being activated. Without putting much effort, your seed of compassion being activated because you are being very inclusive. And then when you make prostration, imagine everybody's making prostration with you. And then next is often lights. Often lights, Light is the opposite of darkness. Darkness represents ignorance, and ignorance to be removed is only the darkness to be removed only by the light. Likewise, to remove the darkness of ignorance is only by introducing light of the wisdom. So the light should be symbolic of the wisdom, and imagine that I'm igniting the light of the wisdom to dispel the darkness of ignorance from the minds of all the beings. And imagine that you're offering lights infinite, although in real sense, in reality, there's only one light that you're offering. But imagine that you're offering millions and trillions of lights to all the bodhisattvas, and that the darkness, ignorance of all the beings are removed. And then imagine that, or is this not only you making the offering the lights, but all sentient beings are offering lights with you. If you can do that, again, your compassion is activated, and with this light, the wisdom is activated, and with including everybody, your compassion is activated. Compassion and the wisdom, these are the two wings for you to cross the ocean of samsara to get to the ultimate happiness. Okay, so we'll stop here, and then we'll recite the. Okay, we'll recite the mantra. I think page 6. Yes, page 6. Ye Dharma mantra, essence of dependent origin mantra. We'll recite this. Okay. I think first let's turn to page 3. First, let's turn to page 3. We'll do a little bit of auspicious beginning by reciting these auspicious verses. Page 3. And teach by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And teach by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations through practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye choda soge chonam la chancho bado dane gyakso che page jinso kebe sonam ge dola benjere sanye chubare isho Sanye choda soge chonam la chancho bado dane gyakso che Tage jinso gebe sonange chola benjere sanje drubare isham Sanje choda soge chonam la chancho bhado dane gyapso che Tage jinso gebe sonange chola benjere sanje drubare isham. Now let us recite the mantra, page 6. Om Mye Dharma Eto Prabhava Eto Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Te Shanchayo Niroda Evam Vate Mahashramanaya Swaha Om Mye Dharma Eto Prabhava Eto Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Te Shamchayo Niroda Evam Vate Mahashramanaya Swaha Om Nyedar Heto Prabhavam Hetom Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Te Shamchayo Niroda Evam Bhakti Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. Okay, so since we have not much time, what we can do is that the Sonamla and okay, I usually you can also help, to split into group. And the Russian, so people say that till 12:30, group divisions and Pravinji can help identify the place where the groups can be. Total, how many people are there? 85 Russians, 40, 40. So almost half. So the vision non-Russians is like, I think, 4 groups, 5 groups. Okay, 5 groups. 4 bit word. 4. Yeah. Okay. Then then till 12:30 you have your tea, first group discussion. What is that? Groups splitting, dividing groups. Um, dividing groups, and then the once group is formed, then you get your tea and have your group discussion. Just introduce yourself, right? And you can discuss a little bit about the frustrations. So whatever is being discussed, you try to discuss on this, or otherwise, a little bit introducing yourself. That'd be good. And then the afternoon session will come together for the afternoon session, which is at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3 processions together.
Om Muni Muni Maha Muniye Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muniye.